Hello, welcome Solex Nation. We are going to talk about one of my favorite topics, and that's Day of Discovery.
Yeah, Day of Discovery, the 2025 dates are set. If you haven't heard, we're going to do the virtual in March. That is the 6th through the 11th. That's giving you about a week, right? To go through hours of content, whether it's with a group or by yourself. Choose your own adventure. Have as much fun learning and absorbing and game planning with whatever it is that we're presenting. You know what we're presenting.
Yes.
I don't know yet.
You know some of it. And the truth is, if you are new here and you don't know what a Day of Discovery is, it's kind of like a convention. We have one every year live in September, and then we have a virtual one in March. And we always have new launches. We have new scanner launches, new product launches, other things like that. We have scanner information. We have a lot of training.
Yeah.
We have business training.
Yep.
So it's a huge variety, and it is so much fun. So we're already planning that. Now, September Day of Discovery is live, and that is September 12th and 13th in Provo, Utah. Tickets are on sale now.
And that's the reason why we have tickets on sale now is because last year's we sold out of the venue. It was a surprise to you. It was a surprise to us. We're so excited that you surprised us this way. We know that demand is higher. We have a bigger venue that we should be able to just get everybody in. But,
the plan is to sell out.
We want to sell out. We always, that's a new thing for us, right?
That's right.
So let's do it.
All right, that sounds fun to me. All right, we talked about a few weeks ago that we launched a new digital marketing kit. So we wanted to remind you of that and let you know just to go to sharesolex.com to access that kit.
One thing that we're also working on, not just getting more content in there, but it also is Spanish material for you. So we love our Spanish-speaking market, that we see so many of you at the live Day of Discovery. We know that there's a contingency for sure that is ready just to explode, and so we want to support that as best we can.
That's right. And then we're pretty quick today. The last thing we want to talk about is our incentive for October, since October is almost over.
Almost over. Last chance to get free sleep for your new enrollee, right? Your new preferred customer or QLA that enrolls with the bundle and the subscription. They will automatically get a bottle of sleep. A great product we all love. Hopefully you've had great experiences with it, but the last few days to get that, so lock that in.
And if you want to market that sleep to new people to say, hey, you can get this for free, go to the digital marketing kit at sharesolex.com, and there's tons of information there and shareables that you can share about sleep.
And as we make our way, as October is ending, we do have the Enroll 3 and the Enroll 6. For you enrollers out there who are sharing a lot and bringing people to Solex, we're so thankful for that, and we're so grateful for that. And part of the way that we have some fun around it, but also thank you for it, is by compensation.
That's right.
Right? So if you enroll 3 people with the bundle and subscription, then you will get an additional $100. If you up that game during the quarter, the whole period, from October 1st through December 31st, take that to 6, and you'll get an additional $400, bringing the total to
$500, and the biggest payout we've ever done in a quarter.
Yeah, it's huge. And we love doing this. We hope that you have a lot of fun with it and just get emboldened and confident in your ability to share whatever it is you love about Solex.
That's right. All right, now let's turn the time over for our top enrollers and our contest.
Hi everybody, it's Deb and Marcy. We're here to give away something fun. So we have some names that have been entered in for the question that was asked at the end of last week's call of what scanner feature would you like to learn more about? And what are we gonna give away, Marcy?
A 6-pack of Solex branded shot glasses.
Yay! Okay, so I'll go ahead and draw the first one. Let's see who's gonna win 6 Solex shot glasses. Sharon Permack. I would love to learn more about body system chemistry. Me too. It can be such a game changer to understand it and apply it to ourselves and those we support. Thank you. Big hug to everyone at Solex. Hug right back at you.
Nice.
6-pack of Solex shot glasses coming to you.
Okay. This one is Kathleen Buckner. Supplement, please. This was a big reason why I joined less than a week ago. I love the idea of imprinting supplements into my water and drinking it. While it gives me voodoo magic vibes, I know there is so much more to it. And understanding them and how to use them and how to group them, etc. would be super helpful.
Ooh, you can find some training.
I think this is very appropriate for her because you can use the shot glass to imprint, or to imprint stuff and whatever on your scanner.
And you can put water in it, you can imprint water, you can imprint your juices, anything you want, you can imprint. All right, 6-pack of Solex shot glasses coming to Ann Marcinek. I absolutely love the amount of information that comes from the Easy Scan, but it can be overwhelming. Agreed. Yes. I would love more information about how to explain the results of the scan when I share it with my family, friends, and future clients. Yes, I feel like even though we've been here for years, there's always something to learn. That's the thing I love about the AOScan technology. We always get to learn more. So congratulations to our winners. Now we're on to our top enrollers. So this is for top enrollers for October 14th through October 20th. And our second place,
Dr. Darlene Lobo. Good job.
Congratulations. And then we have a tie for our first place top enrollers. The first one is Terry Beaver, and the second one is a well-known one, Paige Wheeler. So congratulations to Terry and Paige for being top enroller this week. You will get an amazing swag pack put together personally just for you. So how about we go on to the call?
Sounds good.
Hello, everybody. How many of you all use essential oils? Okay. Well, so do I. When I really found out how essential oils work, I learned about it in school. But one day, I had gotten a blend of essential oils. And, this is a politically charged season. I don't want to get into politics, but this blend was made by one of the two major essential oil parties. And we are in the Washington, D.C. of essential oils, so I'm not going to say which one it is, so I don't want to get thrown out of here. But when I smelled it, it resonated with the essence of my soul. I didn't understand what this was, so I delved a little bit deeper. It had Melissa in it. It had frankincense in it. And it had a bunch of other things in it, and I didn't know what any of these oils did. But I started using them because it brought me extreme pleasure to smell them. And I would put it on acupressure points, and I'd put it on different points of my body. And later I found out that this particular blend was designed to raise your vibration emotionally. So for people who are dealing with a little bit of depression and other things dealing with the organs. And that's when I understood that the medicine of essential oils triggered one of my senses, the sense of smell, which sent a frequency to my brain, which made me say, I want this. And when I took that, I received results that I didn't even know that I need. I didn't even know that it was happening, but it was my sense of smell that made me say yes. All right? When a baby is born, if a mother decides to breastfeed her baby, the milk in the mother's body isn't just designed for a child. That particular milk is designed for that child. And it's designed to nourish the DNA of that child. It can nourish other children, but it's specifically designed for that child. Child doesn't know this. Most of the time, the mother doesn't know this, but there is a sense, pain, hunger. And when the child gets hungry, the child cries. This excites something in the mom, and you put the baby to the breast, the baby pulls, and the baby is able to receive what it needs from a frequency standpoint, everything that it needs, but it would never have taken that in if the senses had not been activated. The mother doesn't know it's happening. Baby doesn't know it's happening. Nature creates a way to trigger the brain so that the medicine inside can be let in. And if these things didn't happen, very often, we wouldn't be able to get the medicine that we need. So earlier today, you heard Lauren talk about sound therapy, and he talked about theta waves. Well, he didn't talk about sound therapy. He talked about theta waves, and he talked about delta waves and gamma. He talked about waves, but these waves that he spoke about ride on sound. And sound goes into the body through the ear, and it triggers the eardrum, and it sends messages to the brain, and the messages that it sends to the brain directs the brain to act in various ways. So, when we're doing our inner voice, and that's what I'm here to talk to you about, inner voice. When we're doing our inner voice, we're using a sort of sound therapy that we wouldn't necessarily bring in otherwise. When you start talking about theta waves and delta waves and gamma waves, sometimes you have seen these on YouTube and other places, and you say, well, wait a minute, I've seen theta waves and it didn't sound like this before. I've seen gamma waves or heard them and they didn't sound like this before. That's because the sound that you're hearing is just the conduit to bring it into the body. So if you hear theta waves in sound and it sounds differently than you hear it in other places, if one of them resonates with you more, that's fine because that's just the top level. Underneath that is a different frequency that the brain decodes to give the messages to the body to do things like sleep, like heal. So when we're doing an inner voice scan, and that's what I'm here to talk to you about, inner voice. When I work in my practice, I only send inner voice to my clients. I do this in practice, so not everybody or most of the people that I see, they don't have their own scanner. I do a complete scan, I do an easy scan, and I only send them the inner voice scan because from my perspective, the inner voice has everything that the client needs in order to bring about balance in the body. And some of you who get really caught up in these other scans might want to start looking at inner voice a little bit differently, because it has everything that you need. So what I'm going to do very quickly is to give you a concept or an idea of one of the ways that I use inner voice. There is no way to use inner voice. So you can hear other people say they do it this way and that way. Whatever way resonates with you is going to be fine. This is one of the ways that I use inner voice. So what you have here is an inner voice scan with vitals. I would encourage you to do an inner voice scan with vitals. One quick tip, if you're ever trying to find out what systems of the body are affected by various emotions, scan yourself or do an inner voice when you are experiencing the emotion, and then look at what comes up so you can have some idea of what's affected by the emotion. If you're dealing with somebody who's in a constant state of depression, but for some reason when they see you, that scan might not be as telling as if you were to get a voice sample from them when they're experiencing the issue. So yesterday, around this time, maybe a little bit hour later, if I were wise, I would have done an inner voice scan on myself. Because yesterday afternoon, I found out that Deb Bruce knows that I exist. I also found out that Deb Bruce knows my name. And if I had done an inner voice scan at that time, I may have found out something about my own emotional state because I was in a state of total shock. And that's neither here nor there. Let's look at the one that's up on the screen right now. This is an inner voice scan with vitals. Now, some of you all may not know this, but when you do an inner voice scan with vitals, you have two options. You could do without vitals and with vitals. When you do an inner voice scan with vitals, you actually get a vitals scan and an optimization in that inner voice. Happens pretty fast, but you get a full optimization. And the vitals and the information below on the bottom part is all associated with the ones and the nines that were associated with the scan that you just did. So let's take a closer look at this one here. This scan shows A sharp as the corresponding note. I have a course coming out soon in Solex University where I'll go over how to tell whether or not you're getting better and how to tell which scan or which of the four to focus on the most. But I have a short period of time, so thank you. Give that one a discount. Yeah. I have A sharp, excuse me. A sharp is the note that we're going to focus on. And so many people, when they look at the note that's out of balance, they just look at the emotional side of it. And they say, I need to balance that emotion. But A sharp is a note that gives you emotions, and there are specific things associated with the note A sharp that also is affected by the emotions, or the emotions might be affected by that. So every single time that A sharp comes up, you're going to see the top portion of it. It'll look exactly the same on mine and yours. There's a little body there, and you can see the respiratory system, and you see parts of the digestive system. What does that tell you? It tells you that A sharp is associated with issues in the respiratory system and the digestive system. Every time. You see the range of emotions, conflicting beliefs, congruent beliefs. You see the range. That's going to show up every time A sharp shows up. You see the color yellow. The color yellow is the balancing color. That's going to show up every time A sharp shows up. And you see the balancing note. Is that E? I'm getting old. E is going to show up every time as the balancing note. If you're doing this and you are using the pulse tones, the note or the balancer that you see will help to balance out the full spectrum of emotions that you see. We all know that, I think. But let's look down a little bit further. Let's look at those vitals. Under the vitals, you have vitamins, C, E, and K, it looks like. It's very small here. Those vitals are specific to the person that's scanned, but they also are specific to the note that's out of balance. Did the vitamin deficiency cause the emotional swing? Did the emotional swing cause the inability of the body to assimilate the nutrition from the vitamins? I don't know. But what I do know is that the balancing note will help to clear away all of it. Let's look down here at the emotions. These emotions that are showing here are specific to the person. Now we're getting personal here. And when you look down here at potential causes, you see parasites a couple of times. And you get down here to imbalances and suggestions. When you're looking at these imbalances and suggestions, when you're looking at these potential causes, if you start working on the imbalances, if you start working on the potential causes, then you might fix the emotion. If you start working on the emotions, you might fix the potential causes. You might fix the vitals. If we stop looking at it as just emotions, we enlarge our spectrum of thought and the things that we can do. I can tell you that some of the people, if you're using this in practice, they don't want to admit they've got an emotional imbalance. And sometimes it's not your job to sit there and tell them, because you'll trigger them into screwing up their own healing, as it were. But you can see it. So if you're dealing with a person like that, and you're looking at these vitals, and you're looking at these suggestions, instead of saying, this is for emotions, you can then take some of the suggestions. You can look at the vitals. If you have trace minerals, you now have a new way to measure trace minerals. If you're looking at trace minerals, you have a way to send the frequency of trace minerals. And you can also use supplements in order to physically bring up trace minerals. But what else can you do? You can look at the emotions that they don't acknowledge, and when you send Cephis, you can add in the emotions or the flower essences or ultimate emotions or whatever it is, to balance out the emotions so that they can have a better chance at balancing out the body. And if they don't want to change their diet yet, and they just want to deal with the emotions, now you can have them listen to their tones or listen to whatever you want them to listen to in order to balance out their emotions, while you send Cephis on the vitals and you send Cephis to the organs, so that you can help to balance out this entire thing. Because the one thing that balances one out balances them all out. The body is not independent of the other. The little toe seems insignificant until you stub it into a wall, and then it's the most important thing on the body. So, I just wanted to come out here for a minute to give you all an idea of how you can use inner voice, not just to balance emotions, but to balance the body, and to just reiterate the fact that emotions are connected to vitals, and vitals are connected to emotions, and as we raise our vibration of enlightenment, we cannot forget that, and use that information for yourselves, for your clients, for your families, and let us all heal. Thank you.
Did you know that our brains can move into different mind states? Being in the wrong state of mind can prevent us from reaching our full potential in health and wellness. For example, if you are trying to learn how to speak a new language, you would want to be in the alpha mind state. If you were in the beta brainwave state, then your brain would be overly alert, which would block memory retention and the ability to process new information. While there are methods out there to optimize brain performance and mind states, many solutions are limited, difficult, and time-consuming. Most fail to address the core issue of engaging the mind in a way that targets physical, emotional, and cognitive health. Introducing AO Infinity Hub by Solex, the first and only clinically designed mind engagement therapy system. AO Hub is a revolutionary tool that helps you optimize your physical, emotional, and mental state to unlock peak performance for both your body and mind. Only with AO Hub are you able to access and learn to transition to 4 different mind states: theta, alpha, beta, and gamma. AO Hub connects seamlessly to your AO Scan program, giving you an all-in-one solution to enhance your health and wellness journey. In addition to mind engagement therapy, AO Hub offers cognitive health mindset sessions, healthy habit therapy, and light engagement sessions. It's time to energize your mind, meditate effectively, and boost your brain's capacity to heal and learn. Order now and unlock your brain's potential and reach new heights with AO Infinity Hub.
Hi, I'm Nicole Rodrigues, and I would like to share some tips on how to use Solex tools when we're struggling with fear and anxiety, maybe caused from a loved one not being well, or when you're faced with a challenging situation that you have a really difficult decision to make. So the first thing that I would say is to go inward, to find peace and clarity. And the absolute best tool for this is the inner voice from the AO scanner. We all know how important it is to be emotionally balanced, especially navigating a tumultuous situation. So I always think of the AO, the alpha and the omega, the beginning and the end. Many things come from this, but what I like to see it as is the start to the day and the end to the day should be used with the AO scanner. So the start of a difficult problem until the end of that problem, use your inner voice, use the scanner, the alpha and the omega. And definitely when you're listening to your inner voice music, pair that with your color therapy glasses. And remember that music has a 4D quality that is able to release the soul from imprisonment and allow comfort and peace in situations. So also inner voice can clear negative and trapped emotions and false core beliefs. So this will help to reduce the fear and reduce the anxiety. Next, I use MindSync, and there are great affirmations that we already have set up in there for MindSync for us to use. But my favorite way to use MindSync is to integrate affirmations and learnings from powerful books that I've read and put them into MindSync. So one of my favorite books, and I have it here, it's The Game of Life and How to Play It. And this is by American author Florence Shinn. She wrote this back in 1923, and it's brilliant. So I like to use these affirmations in MindSync. And how I did this is I basically read through the book, and I underlined anything that really resonated with me and felt like I needed to include in MindSync. And then I made a list of all of these, and I recorded my own MindSync. And just to give a little bit of a background, we know that mind sync connects the subconscious mind or the soul with the conscious mind, which is the human mind. And when you add affirmations of the superconscious, that's the spirit. So I feel like there's a even greater shift when you connect all three, the soul, the human mind, and the spirit. So I have one example here from the book that I have here, the Florence Shin book. And this is for a difficult situation. So I'm going to read it to you guys. I put this situation in the hands of infinite love and wisdom. If blank, and you can put your situation in there, is the divine plan, I bless it and no longer resist it. But if it is not divinely planned, I give thanks that it is now dissolved and dissipated. So this helps to really take the burden off you and reduce your fear, reduce anxiety. So once you have your inner voice music and the affirmations that you'd like to use, you can save them all to a playlist. I like to put them into Spotify, and I even have different playlists for different situations, different people, and then you can meditate listening to them. Use your AO Infinity mat. Definitely use your rose color glasses. They're great for anxiety. And then you can even broadcast anxiety frequencies using Cephi at the same time. So it's all about biohacking, using all these amazing tools that we have and putting them together to help you in a situation. So my rule of thumb is that any decision made out of fear cannot be the right decision. So if you can be still and put your faith into a higher power, whatever or whoever that is for you, God, Source, Buddha, the fear will dissipate and the situation will dissolve, or healing will occur, or a new situation or solution will present it to you and put you on the right path. So I hope that helps some of you, and thank you so much for having me here.
Everyone always loves when Darryl Roberts is here.
Yeah, and inner voice, I mean, it's a leading one for me. It's one I always comfortably get into conversations with so many people. Yeah. And one that I just, from the outset of me trying to come up to speed with frequencies, that was the one I started with to know, just to feel like I understood what was going on. I understood my emotions, and somehow the scanner did too.
Yes, I wonder how.
It's amazing, and I love it.
I think a lot of people lead with inner voice. It's a great starting point for the
everybody
scanner.
has emotions.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah. Well, we want to know, what is your inner voice testimonial? We know you have them. I have one. You have one.
Yes.
If you've been using the scanner consistently, you have one. We know you do. And you know what? It's getting colder, here at least.
Yeah. And so it's time to give away something that probably adapts to the cold. We have our iHeart Scanning beanie. We love this Heather Gray beanie.
Yes.
This is one to wear and proudly wear it to share. People are going to come up and ask you, you heart scanning?
Yeah, you can tell them about inner voice.
Yeah, that's a great connection.
So tell us about your inner voice testimonial, and we'll draw 3 next week. Thanks so much, you guys.
Good.
You guys, I said
No,
you guys.
that's good.
That's stupid. We look cute together.